Secret Barbershop, Sean Lahan, working on my second haircut tutorial. Today what we're going to do is a nice high one, a mid-zero, and razor out the edge. All clipper over comb work, just using these two tools here. We're just going to taper out and then razor out. So clipper over comb, some trimmer work, some razor work. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay, ready to go. I've got my adjustable and my flat topper comb. Great clipper over comb. You see I start right there in that middle section. Once again, I separate the head into three sections: the top, the sides, and the edge. The sides I refer to as the middle. So on the sides, there's the middle, the upper middle, and the lower middle. And right now, we're addressing that middle, and upper middle section. I'm all the way closed on my adjustable and just really have that hand comb action going, removing that bulk and just digging and scooping away. If you see the action of the comb, it's got a little bit of the teeth of the comb kind of scoop in, scoop out. It's not straight. It's not straight in there. It kind of scoops in, scoops out, scoops in, scoops out, like a little C action. So I've removed all of the side with the clipper over comb down to a nice tight one. I removed the clipper comb and open up the adjustable, and then I push it in right on that middle section, trying to achieve that one. So just to reiterate real quick, we start the clipper over comb fully closed, remove that bulk, hold that nice tight angle, get that arc over the ear, closed, and the thickness of the comb will give you that 1.5. Then you remove the comb, open up the adjustable, lay it flat, and achieve that one. So now I'm just really shooting for that one right in that middle section, kind of doing everything I can to needle that one out. In a second here, you're going to see me pull the clipper away and click down. You can see the lever on the adjustable is all the way open in that position. In a few seconds, there you go, I clicked it, and now we're closing it down. It's indexed. This Bayless clipper's really nice, super powerful, and adjustable. It's indexes. There's 4 or 5 index spots on that lever. So I go click, click, gets me halfway closed, and then click, click, gives me all the way closed. So right now, I'm at about a half. I'm second index on that lever closed, just continuing to dig out and achieve that nice tight line. And you can see how we leave that fringe work like we talk about. We use that as a guide to make sure that we're nice and graceful and symmetrical with our arc over the ear and under the occipital bone. So there we go. I've closed it all the way down and reversed it. This will get me a really close edge right down to that nearly trimmer work, true zero. That's what you're trying to do here, is achieve that true zero. You want that true zero because once the razor comes in, if you're not at true zero, it will leave a line. So you do all your work now to achieve that real nice, tight, zeroed out edge. You got that clipper over comb in the upper middle section. There we go. Now we open all the way back up and just real lightly shape some of that stuff that we just ripped through earlier. That first pass is just the bulk, removal of the bulk. Now we're opened up and we're healed out, and we're just kind of feathering off that heavy edge up there. Good and clean, kind of working as we go. The beautiful thing about tapering this way is that you only use that clipper and that comb. We will introduce a trimmer, but for all of the tapering work, it's all with those two tools right there. The different adjustments that you make, this is the parted side. The different adjustments that you make have different effects on that development of the taper. When you're up high, you open up and you heel out. When you're down low or in that middle section, you close the adjustable and dig and push to achieve everything you can out of the tip of the blade. So here, I believe I'm a little bit open, just feathering off that bulk. I'll close it down as I go. It's best to be open at this stage so it doesn't leave such definite lines. It leaves a real nice feathered edge. Push that all the way up to the top. Don't leave a heavy ledge up at the top. And once again, this is just the removal of the bulk pass. We don't need to be perfect at this pass. We're getting it close. That's the idea. There we go. Lots of combing, lots of cleaning. Continue to work up the higher edge of that section. Arc over the ears and below the occipital. There we go. Now I'm closing down. You can see the levers close down pretty good. I'm starting to really try to achieve that clipper over comb one which is really about a 1.5. When you bring in the actual cutting head of the clipper, you will get that nice uniform look. Here we go, opened all the way up and scooping out right at that middle section, scooping out. Once again, this is called soft line tapering. There's the opposite to that is hard line tapering, where you etch a hard line and then you buff a hard line out. This is pretty much the exact opposite of that. It works from the top down, and you just kind of develop the taper as tight as you want and as high as you want, depending on your settings and how you have your approach. But like we said, today we're going for a nice mid-zero razored out taper. So that's what we're shooting. That midline, the dark line there, the top of the dark line is our midsection. That's simulating, that is representing where we're going to put the razor line. See, I click down, tighten them up a little bit. The indexes on that baby are pretty cool. I like them. You are trying to achieve that zero. Take your time to walk down to that zero. You have open, which is a 1, and then closed 2 indexes, which is about a half, closed 2 indexes more, which is about a triple aught. And once we get it down to that nice triple aught, we'll introduce the trimmer and get it even more to a 0. The point is to achieve that 0 along that dark edge right at that midsection, so when you bring the razor work in, there is not a line very distinguishable between the two. So keep cleaning, keep working. See how I tapped the right behind the ear, that measurement there. You take a little visual measurement behind that ear, and now you shoot for the other visual measurement over there. It's a really easy way to maintain a good symmetrical eye. Kind of step back, take a good quick look at it, and then look for that symmetrical arc. You can take a quick measurement on the side of the head with the comb, and then look at both sides and make a comparison between the two. Not being too super particular, but as detailed as you want to be. There we go. So we're upside down and closed, really trying to achieve the closest 0 that we can. This machine is gapped pretty perfectly. It cuts nice and close. It's very safe up against the skin. The teeth are very rounded off. They're very friendly up against the skin. They don't get it to trimmer, but we're prepping it for the trimmer. So the taper's looking nice and tight, nice and clean. If you zoom in on there, you'd see that real tight work into the true 0 that we're shooting for. That true 0 is just going to be where we introduce the razor. Open up a little bit, heel out, clean up a little bit, second pass on that upper middle section where all that length is. When you're open, it really feathers off nicely. There you go. Super easy. The more you do this clipper over comb work, the better you get at it. Nice and fluid, nice and fun, nice and creative. Once again, this way of tapering, 2 tools. You only have 2 tools to clean. You only have to pick up 2 tools. No loading and reloading of detachable blades like we did in the last tutorial. There we go. A quick clean with the air hose. And we're going to shift gears into a cleaning mode. I like to reset my palette, get rid of that debris, blow that stuff down, reset your eyes. It's nice and comfortable for your patron. Don't be walking on the hair. Pet peeves, clean as you go, I like to say. There we go, nice big swig. Everybody gets complimentary beverage at the shop. Water, beer, energy drinks. There we go, nice and cleaning. Like I said, I'm resetting him. I'm resetting the canvas. I'm resetting my eyes, feeling good about it, and I move on to the next step, which is, once again, a lot more combing. I can't emphasize that enough. Combing is really how you get a true look at what the final cut will look like. Okay, great. So we're looking good there. There's that hair block, a really nice tool for pulling out debris and getting the hair to lay in a nice uniform fashion. There you go. Always using that air tool. Grabbing that small barber taper brush and my trimmer. quick grease, and here we go. My edges are always nice and natural. I just take off the sandiness, and I always try to accent the lines that are already there. Nothing aggressive, nothing edgy. Nice and casual and natural. There we go. So now you're working down. Don't go up. Just scratch down, just to get that trimmer zero. Scratch down just on that edge. Now you go back up just to kind of detail little tiny areas. But this is where most of that patience and detail pays off. You do got to get the most out of that trimmer, but just work in about 1/8 of an inch band down. Pull down. See, I'm kind of doing a little light sawing action, and then a little bit of floating up backwards. A little bit of floating up backwards. See how I always anchor my fingers to the head in several locations? Always find as many ways to stabilize your hand as much as possible. So here we go, flipping up, flipping down, doing a little horizontal cuts, a little bit of up, a little bit of down. But really what I'm doing is I'm really defining that dark edge on the bottom. That's my guide. It's a reverse guide. See how I take a measurement there at that ear and I transfer that measurement here at this ear so I know exactly right where I'm at. It's a very easy way to stay symmetrical, stay neat, stay clean, and slowly develop that zero edge. That's the goal in this cut, is to achieve that zero, nice and easy, smooth, slow transition. Let it develop. You get fast at this as you go. Honestly, I've done a lot of these. It's a very popular haircut. This style and this way of doing it is very fun as well. It's challenging, but it's very simplistic and very proven and rewarding. So once again, pulling that skin tight, just skipping and scratching right in there at that, defining that black line, getting that true zero, preparing it for the razor. Always got the razor in mind. If there's hair there and you hit that razor to it, it's going to leave a line that you're going to have to come back to. And you just want to minimize that as much as possible. Some of that will happen here and there, but you're trying to minimize it as much as possible by taking your time at this stage, developing that reverse guide, a nice, dark, defined line, a good, clean zero, a little tiny bit of just skipping up. Here we go, just edging it in a little tiny bit. You know, you get real comfortable with your tools. You're anchoring your hand. You're constantly developing that hand-eye coordination relationship. There we go. I'm moving around a little bit, thinking about the next step. And it is pretty much razor at this time. Sometimes I like to take that fringe, that bulk down a little bit, but it's razorable right here. We're just going to keep it all together. So the top of the haircut, we did the shear work earlier. That's not in this video. This video is just for this clipper over comb mid-zero tapered out razor. So here we go. We get the chair cloth off of him. Get that Sanic thrown away right there in the trash. Fresh towel around the neck. I always like to introduce or bring in the my trimmer and my neck duster to clean up his neck while it's dry. That's the big benefit. While his neck is dry, clean those fuzzies out now because you're going to bring the water and the razor in here in a little bit. It just helps you define your area. That's what a lot of this stuff is defining areas and learning how to marry them and transition them nice and smooth. Nice and efficient too. A routine is something that you develop. You know, you're constantly paying close attention to the task at hand. And over time, you get a very nice, refined system. There we go. I put that towel on his shoulder as a support for the paper towel that we will be wiping the razor with. There's a steam towel with a good dose of that Osage rub, that menthol eucalyptus invigorating splash for head and face. I highly recommend it. Take your time at this area, warming, bringing up the moisture content of the skin, softening the hairs, clearing oil and debris, soothing the patron. My goodness. A steam towel is a service that you can only get at the barbershop. Who else and where else are you going to get a steam towel on your neck but the barbershop? When that cool air hits your neck as you walk out the door, that's what you're going for. There we go. That Scoutmaster latherizer, cranking out a good handful. I always do one hand and up and over, and then use gravity to kind of peel it off. Keeping it somewhat neat, but you want to go right into it so there's no drying period in between the steam towel and the latherizer. There we go. So let that stuff sit on there for a quick second. We'll prep the razor here. There we go. Quick rinse. Quick dry. Razor time. So that's a razor blade that I had from earlier, and I'm actually discarding it very poorly. I never quite figured that thing out. Anyways, here we go. So what I'm going to is, you see I got my sanitary, everything in there is fresh and clean, sanitized and stored, so I easily access it. Break out a fresh razor. These are just the regular professional feather injectable razors with that Artist DX feather razor. There we go. Move that stuff around. Sometimes I should have that razor prepared before, but hey. There we go. Start right there at that little arc. Just a real fluid movement. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Get in your zone during this period. Lock in and go easy. Let the razor do all the work and slowly work around the head. There we go. And then you can see it's just razored out. You know the area that's razored out. You taper all the way down. Get that true zero right in the midsection. And the cool thing is, say they they want to go higher and tighter, so you just move that line up higher and tighter. You can go military all the way up and over the top. You can go extremely super high, which is right up at that very edge before it just starts to curve over the top. And then there's, all the way down low and tight, mid and tight, high and tight, everything in between. So just real nice, easy razor work here. Staying in the zone, wiping, double checking. You got a little bit of a dry time factor, so don't forget about that. Just stay nice and easy. I always wipe the residual. I don't put the residual onto onto just a paper towel. I support it with that other paper towel. I think it's a comfort for the patron. And I only put the hairs on that paper towel, which, see, I fold over there, so I got a whole new side for the other side. And then I just quickly throw that paper towel away, and there's no cut hair on my linen because I wash and do my own linen every day. Okay, cool, here we go, working up the other side. Using that light and just working around, nice and easy. That's the work is all done before you do the razor. Like the razor work, all the work's done before you razor. When you're razoring, you're just simply softly coming into it, trying not to, be too heavy-handed, so you just let that blade do the work. It's brand new. It's super nice. It cuts super nice. Get a good feel for it, and just slowly work your way all the way around. Just like that. Like I said, I do these cuts, sometimes 3 or 4 of these a day, a lot, for many years. So the system, I've really challenged myself. And what happens is the people that get these cuts will never go anywhere else. They'll stick with you. It's a very comfortable haircut for the client, very fun and creative haircut for you as a craftsman or crafts person, crafts woman. There you have it. Nice, good, clean edge work. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Swift, efficient. No line. We might do a little tiny bit of buffing, but that's obvious. There we go. Quick cleanup. There we go. Use that towel to wipe the residual away and get a good eye on what we are looking at. There you have it. There we go. And hit him with some of that bay rum. Good old traditional bay rum. There we go. Take your time. Send him out singing. Singing and zinging. Fan him off. That cool air. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Work into the talc. The talc cools, soothes, takes the shine away, lets you get a good real look at what it's going to look like. You know, when you shave, you take off that epidermis and you take off the oil, so the skin goes into overproduction to compensate. The talc helps that transition smooth out, finishes it off real nice, smells real good. I could go on and on. There we go. Like we said, a little tiny bit of trimmer work here and there, just to kind of dot your T's, cross your I's. Whichever way you like it. There you go. So still, he's got lots of hair on top of his head. Nice tight taper, so it's going to last him a long time. It looks good. It's not too aggressive. Soft on the eyes. It's a good haircut. It's a valuable haircut. Okay, there we go. Going into the styling, I like to saturate with the grooming spray. That's the way he likes to wear his hair. We're going to load him up with some super hold today. Lots of control. He's got lots of hair, so we want to hold that in place for him while he's at work all day. So just a little bit of cleanup there on that high side. Grab that can of Layrite Super Hold, a big knuckle, work it up, let that grooming spray, the moisture in there, help the pomade to disperse nice and evenly. They say the drier the hair, the stronger the hold. There we go. Really take your time, brush it in with your fingertips. You're looking for that nice, even saturation on all that length. He's got lots of length up there. He likes to pile it, throw it back and pile it up there. Keep it in place. So we take our time here. There we go. Still working it. You gradually continue to take it off the palm of your hands and transfer it to the fingertips. Then the fingertips transfer it, obviously, to the hair. Quick rinse. Having all your tools and your workstation, everything nice and handy. The trash, the soiled linen, supplies, tools. There we go. Good comb. That's the hair tamer, the coarse side of the hair tamer. He's got lots of hair, so we're just going to kind of shape it around. Switch to that fine side and pull out that top edge of that nice, clean, tight taper. Dropping down in the back. Back to the coarse side to grab all that length. Just shape it. trail with your hand, shape it. I'm not really one to sit and dote on haircuts too much. This is an actual haircut. I asked for permission if he would let me record it. It's a patron of mine. It's been a long time patron. He said yes. So this is an actual haircut in my shop during working hours. Nice mid-zero, razored out taper. You can raise that zero lower or higher, depending on your liking. And that's it. Nice side part. Good and clean, good and classic. Hey, thanks a lot, you guys. I do appreciate you giving me your attention, following through this side part, mid-zero, razor taper. Nice and soft on the eyes. Good and clean, good and classic. Straightforward and simple. Rock and rolling, all day strolling. Nice. I'm having fun. Thanks a lot, you guys. Take care. We'll do some more.
Moments are constantly fleeting because of hearts are beating.